Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube and Facebook Live. Pete Gray here along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to a pretty empty San Diego landings in Point Loma, but it's still busy because boats are turning around and Tomahawk's out there, Royal Star's out there unloading lots of tuna and lots of good stuff out there. Doug Kern is here from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. We're talking fun stuff, toys for fishermen. That's tackle. And having a great show here with lots of good texts coming here this second hour.
Yeah, text message is the way to do it if you want to join us here in hour number 2. And the only way you can do that is through our Let's Talk Hookup app. Not only is it such an easy, fun, and great way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup, but it is your only way to send in your questions here in the second hour. We got the man, the tackle guru, is standing by. And if you want to send that text, just open up that Let's Talk Hookup app. You'll see the text the show option there. When you click that button to send your text, make sure you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need along with your question so that we can get a hold of you in case you win that great prize. And, man, what a prize it is. Pete was showing them off for the first hour, doing it again right now.
Show them off, Doug.
It's a brand new Costa Reefton Pro. It's a gray frame with a gray silver mirror. Really, really nice pair of shades from Costa. And somebody is going to win that exact pair.
And the cool thing is it kind of fits everybody. It fits
that's what I was
with
very
big
good
faces
looking,
and small faces.
I
right?
have trouble finding a pair that fits.
Yeah.
That one
That
oddly fits me really well.
Yeah, I like those a lot.
And the Pro has all those cool things. It has the movable nose pieces and the place for you can put your
I love when they do that. So what Pete's talking about is the very back of the earpiece, the part that hangs on your ear on those Reefton Pros. Exactly, there's a hole in it. So whether you choose the most common style of keepers that just slide over the back, or you want something that's got a swivel, or if you lost them and you're on a boat, you can tie a San Diego knot in some 25-pound fluorocarbon and make your own sunglass holder. Yeah, that's a cool, very cool pair of shades. And one lucky caller or texter is going to be winning those at the end of today's show.
Yeah, for sure. Well, lots of good stuff going on, lots of good text, but time for the catch report.
Yeah, buddy. We got the private boater buddy standing by. Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge has got our fishdope.com report today. It's sponsored by Gamakatsu. If you like to fish with tuna and you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you are missing bites. Their 720 heavy-duty assist hook is the one for your nighttime jigging. And also for bait fishing, nothing beats that Nautilus Circle hook, especially right now when we're having the varies in bait where, on Tuesday the bait might be small and on Thursday the bait might be huge. If you're in a small bait scenario, there's nothing like that Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle hook. The 2, the 1, even the very small number 4, it's a thinner wire, but it's very strong. It helps. It's much easier to pin your bait on, and that light gauge wire really allows that bait to swim better. It is the circle hook if you're in a small bait scenario. There's no doubt about it.
Especially if you're going fishing bluefin at the Coronado Islands.
Huge.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's a difference maker. It really is.
Yeah.
Hey, you can see it at your local tackle store or check out gamakatsu.com. We got the man standing by, Captain Mark Wish. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ricky, Pete, Doug.
Good morning.
As always, my favorite show, Doug, and I gotta tell you guys, you started the show off with that evolution of the lures for bluefin, and that was just a crazy to listen to that, because I lived it, being in the tackle business, and we're watching these lures evolve as the fishery is evolving, and it was just incredible, the light speed at which everything moved right back for those years. That was just insane.
And comes and goes in waves, right?
Well, fishermen are innovative, and so they're going to adapt, and you see that in Japan more than anywhere else, but yeah, I mean, they'll figure out a way to catch a fish.
Boy, that's for sure. And like you were talking about those flat falls, the Captain's Concepts guys, Gavin was talking about those small flat falls that we haven't used hardly at all for years, even though they work great.
Yep.
And there's a whole new resurgence. What goes around comes around. It's
pretty fun.
Anyway, So I don't know about this weather, man. It's hard to believe. I look out the window here, mid-August, and it's all wet. It's like light rain up here this morning. It's just
Same here.
crazy weather this year.
Well, the flags are blowing out of the south. I'm looking out the window and going straight from the Coronado Islands.
Doug. Oh, well, is what it is. But, fortunately, not too much wind out there on the outside, so it's a little offshore lumpy, but definitely fishable. So starting out there at San Nicolas, there was some very good sea bass fishing for the past few weeks there in between the weather. You got to get the weather out when you're way out there like that. But good mix of medium-sized sea bass, not so much really big ones, but some big halibuts and some nice yellowtails mixed in, and slower now, so we'll have to watch out there for a rebite. Same setup at Santa Barbara Island. There's quite a bit of squid around, actually on both sides there, front and back. And plenty of gamesters to go with it, sea bass, yellows, halibuts. And, of course, those cods up there above the island, man, those cods are snapping. It's been really good red snapper fishing. Or at Catalina, still same mix of kelp line critters, nothing real exciting. There's a few nice yellows mixed in here and there. Just about all the structure spots on the front have some fish, and plenty of squid around the backside east. No shortage of bait, that's for sure, for this time of year. And guys, if I was going over there right now, I would make my bait there in that Silver Canyon sector there, and then relocate and set up on the east end proper to fish 7 to 8 fathoms from like underneath the light over towards Seal Rocks there and catch some of that nice 30, 40-pound sea bass that's hanging around in there. And or at Clemente, the Pyramid Cove sector still holding some squid and yellows and sea bass on it, nice ones. Big yellows hanging out there. Lost Point has got some bait, and same setup there, yellow sea bass, and up west off the dunes also. And then on the front side, really good calico bass fishing all up and down the front, lots of big bass and some school-sized yellows mixed in. Offshore, we got several areas of bluefin around right now, including some new fish who looks like moving in down below the border. We haven't seen much down the Mexican waters for a bit, but we got some down around that 390. And I think it's kind of smaller grade bluefin, not so much the real big boys, but nice mix of bluefin and yellow on the kelps there. So that's pretty interesting. Out toward the 381, out off the back of Clemente, there's another area of fish, but a little bit more weather to deal with. And then the main zone has been that Osborne 499 snail sector up there. Lots of foamers. It's biting in the afternoon. It comes up good in the afternoon. There's a little bite in the morning, but the guys that stay till 4 o'clock are the guys that really get them. And then yesterday, the Fish Dope Plain, they saw a whole bunch of new fish. If you were to draw a line from the west end of Clemente to the west end of Catalina, they're kind of just west of that line, a little closer to Clemente. And I think that's fished, last weekend we were fishing around the 289 there. We saw quite a lot of that really nice sized fish jumping around. They didn't want to bite all that good, but they were definitely there, and it looks like that stuff has moved. So I'm guessing that stuff that's up there by that line I just described is probably moving fish. I don't know if it's going to be there long, but it's heading up toward that snail 499 area. Maybe it'll reload up there. So we got a lot going on offshore, guys. It's definitely time to go fishing.
Yeah, and of course, guys from fishdope.com, they have the info, $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space, HOOKUPNOW, your $30 code to keep informed of what's going on when you can't hear Mark Wish on Saturday morning on Let's Talk Hookup. You have it 724 on fishdope.com. And Mark, I'm going to play this soundbite again because it's back in the era of you, because you've been with us for it'll be celebrating our 34th anniversary here in a couple of weeks.
That's hard to believe.
You've been around here for a long time, so I'm going to play it again.
Hi, this is Bill Poole of XL Sport Fishing. You're listening to Southern California's best fishing show, Let's Talk Hookup, on Extra Sports 690.
And you were here when all that was going on. You were here.
Isn't that great to hear him? I mean, such a legend, so much history there. Oh my God!
So I got to tell the story of how I had that.
It's crazy.
So Ingrid Poole is putting together a documentary film about the history of San Diego sport fishing, and her grandson is working for her, and he's back in somewhere east of the Rockies. I call it all East Coast. Once it goes past east of the Rockies is East Coast. But anyway, he said, "Do you have any sound bites from Bill Poole. And the only one I could find was this old 8-track cart that we used to use back in the 690 days with that soundbite on it. So I said, here's what I have. I'm going to mail it to you, but the only caveat is send me the digital if you get it. And he sent it to me.
That's so rad.
He found a way to do it, so he sent it to me. So I had to play it. I have it on my Roadcaster here, so we can just play it anytime.
I love it, man.
Hear the good old school voice of Bill Poole.
That's awesome. Okay, because I got a last question for Doug.
Okay.
So you're close with CalStar. Thank God they're just doing all this cool stuff now. What do you
Chris
think's
is
the
amazing.
possibility of getting a GG series? They have that wonderful 270 8-foot heavy, but just a regular 270 8-foot for the smaller bait that we have around now.
Chris Yamada took over from Pat, and there couldn't have been a better choice culturally to continue the legacy of CalStar and Leon and Pat. They still have their same crew back there building the rods. The quality has been immaculate. But the thing that has definitely changed is the innovation. And I know everybody has seen all these new jig sticks in the GG series and all the other series, 9.5 feet and using Fuji guides, just things that we've kind of been wanting for a while. And I think the GG series is the sweet spot to expand because it had a mismatch of, maybe 10 or a dozen rods at the most, and there were holes in between everything. So, we've put our 2 cents in. I'm sure the other dealers have as well. Those people that are on the front line and get the requests from the customers. And, 7.5 foot is a very useful length. Certainly the 800 XLH is your quintessential 20-pound anchovy rod. And if you could get, like you say, a 270 in the GG series, it would do exactly the same thing. It'd be the perfect 20-pound rod. You're not going to fling your bait off. It's got 70% fiberglass in that rod, a little bit of graphite for some pulling power and so forth. So I'm sure Chris is listening or will listen on the app, and that's a great suggestion. I know there are other companies, and I won't name names, that are all looking hard at this anchovy that's all of a sudden, become much more massive amount of anchovies. And it's going to change everything because everything's gone to 2-speed, lever drag, heavy gear. And the second that anchovies become the primary bait for more than a month, it's going to be panic and chaos and pandemonium. And a 270 GG would be the perfect rod for that.
So 3 weeks from today, Mark, Chris Yamada and John will be here in the studio, and you can ask him yourself. How's that sound?
That's great.
That's September
I need to talk
6th.
to them about some other stuff anyway. So we'll put the pressure on them.
Okay, yeah.
They sure seem up to the task, man.
Oh yeah,
they're
so
kicking
interactive.
out the
John,
coolest.
Chris are just killing it.
Yeah, they really are, man.
They really are.
That new GG that we were like fawning over. We we're sold out. We got them in. We sold them, and they're awesome.
Wow.
I love it. They hit the mark so dead on with that thing. It's great. The new 73 XH and double XH.
Wow. Cool.
We talked about the Shimano Talica versus Speedmaster. This is they've got the Graphiter and the GG. It's the same thing. You can buy a high quality American made CalStar rod in that GG series for, a pretty significant amount less money and still have an A+ fishing tool in your hand.
There you go. Hey, Mark, thanks a lot for the call and the report, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Okay, you got it. We'll have a good one for you next week. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Mark.
Take care, Mark.
Appreciate that. I believe we have Rosie Flowers from Cedro Sport Fishing on the line. Good morning, Rosie. Okay, maybe we don't know. Who is on the hotline there?
Anybody home out there?
Anybody home on the hotline?
On this line?
Yes, this line. Who is this?
Hey, Pete, good morning. This is Bill Kavanaugh.
Hey!
Oh, cool, Bill.
Hey, Bill. We don't have a screener on this particular line, And so we don't know who's there unless it shows up
Every
on
once
the
in a while,
hallway.
It's a
every once
mystery
in a while
caller.
one that sneaks
Yeah.
through. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill.
Well, that's awesome. Good morning. Good to hear from you. Yeah, I tuned in this morning and I saw that Doug was on the show. I'm like, I got to call in and tell a story.
Oh,
Okay, go,
I
man.
hope it's not too bad.
So this is my Fisherman's Landing tackle story. So, I'm currently managing and captaining a 92-foot Viking, which is a pretty awesome experience, to say the least. It's an impressive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So we spent some time getting this thing, West Coast standards and renovating and upgrading to where we wanted. And we were getting ready to leave on our first Mag Bay trip of the new boat last November. And I got all my provisions done, and I'm all ready to go. We're going down to San Diego to get fuel, and I realized I'd never made the gaffs that I wanted to make. We had gaffs on board, but they weren't ideal. So I'm like, man, I just really don't want to deal with the gaffs. So I called up Rick. I'm like, Rick, what gaffs do you have in store right now? He's like, we got a couple different options. I'm like, can you send me a couple pictures? He sent me some pictures. I picked out the gaffs that I wanted, a couple AFCO gaffs. I added some tackle onto my list. I said, Rick, we're going to get fuel, then we're going to go. I'm going to send my deckhand. Can you have it ready for me? He's like, yeah, no problem. So I get to Pearson's fuel dock. I'm putting fuel on board for this. We were gone for, I think, 28 days. So get our fuel. Before I was done with fuel, my deckhand comes back with beautiful AFCO gaffs, the tackle that I asked for, and it was done deal, and we're off on our Mag Bay trip. And I was just super pumped because that was exemplary customer service, and they always have good knowledge of what's going on the fishing scene. And I just felt like I needed to share that story with you guys.
That's
That's
awesome.
Awesome, Bill.
Yeah, AFCO makes some pretty sensational equipment for sure.
They do, and
Yeah.
they
Best
keep
gaffs in the
innovating.
world.
I mean, they've come out with this
Dude.
new gaff, and I don't even know how to describe it, but I mean, it's it's graphite, it's lighter, it's
Woody, you for real need to scope this out. Like, so they just came out with a brand new product. It's a full, true carbon fiber shaft, 8-foot, 3-inch hook gaff.
Wow.
You could at full extension hold that gaff between two fingers and hold it out. I mean, it weighs nothing. Like the
Wow.
entire 8-foot shaft weighs less than the hook does.
Really?
It's so
And they're
so
available
sick.
now?
Yeah, we got them in the store
and
right,
it
right
looks
in a second.
very yachty.
It's
I'll
so
bet it does.
sick.
It looks
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it's worthy of being on a
Are you
92-foot
upselling
Viking.
me already, Rick?
It's dude, I'm telling you, it is to your guys' standards. It's the bomb.
I'm going to have to get those when we're on our way down this year.
We'll meet you at the fuel dock.
Well, great to hear from you, Bill, and thanks for sharing a good story with us. And glad you're out there catching fish on that beautiful rig.
Yeah, we made our first bluefin trip a couple weeks ago and caught a 207-pounder.
Nice.
Sweet. What'd you catch it on?
That was on a knife jig. It was
Yep.
in the dark.
In the dark on the knife
So
jig.
rad.
Pretty
Nice.
standard.
What size knife jig?
What was it? Let me see here. I think it was the SK jig. That's my favorite. I don't know. I just have a
You
soft
run the
spot in
boat.
my heart for that jig.
Yeah.
That SK jig, that 300-gram SK jig. It's a tried and true.
It gets bites,
Yeah.
man, no doubt.
That's a good one.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, great to hear from
Yeah,
you, Bill.
Bill.
Keep up the good work, and hope call in. Now we'll know it's you.
Right. Okay, hey, thanks for your time. You guys have
All right.
a great morning.
See you,
Thanks.
buddy.
See you, Bill.
That was
Appreciate
fun.
that very much.
Well, that's going to wrap up our catch report there. Great times, lots of fun. Again, if you want to join us this morning, send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. Make sure you include that contact info as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you have a great text,
I
huh?
definitely do. It says, good morning, guys. What a great show. Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop is run so smooth. In today's world, it's so hard to find good workers. Doug, if you could speak to the younger generation who might be on the verge of joining today's workforce and talk a little bit about what you look for when you're hiring a younger gentleman to be behind the counter. That's all from Rory in Lakeside.
Yep. We definitely go through some specific things. The first thing is they have to just be obsessed with fishing, grew up fishing, know a lot about Southern California fishing, and, it just has morphed into quite a few of the young people that have gone to Point Loma High School. We've got some that came from, Coronado, North Coronado Island, some of these around the Bay kids that grew up. We've hired kids in their 14, 15, 16-year-old bracket. And then, they'll work through their high school career. And then if they go to college, they'll come back every summer. And I mean, we've had some of these people that have gone on to become doctors and entrepreneurs and worked, in high-level government positions. And, I mean, these are very bright people. And they tend to have, we need somebody that has good communication skills and good personalities. And so we ask very specific questions in our interview process. But we have an entire page on our interview process and our employment application that says, check any of these places that you've ever fished at least one time. And it goes right down the list: half day, bay, private boat, party boat, long range, Baja, Catalina, all of our local areas. And I turn to that page first. And if all the boxes are checked, okay, I keep this application. Then we do the whole interview process and find out what they're all about and what their availability is and what their personality is like. And we have been so amazingly blessed with some of the best. I'm in awe of how good some of these guys are. And they go on to know things that, are beyond my scope. They're so up, obviously all these kids are on their phone all the time on the internet, and they find this stuff from Japan and these techniques. And, we've got, 7 full-time year-round people, and then we get up to about 18 or 20 during the summer. And the information that comes out of these kids' heads is just amazing. And you just see a customer come in the shop and they just instantly engage. And I hear the conversations that they have, and they're so intelligent and so spot on with their recommendations. And the ethics is another huge part of it. We don't sell people things for profit and for money. The profit and the money will come out of taking good care of our customers. That's a byproduct.
You're not going to sell them something that they don't need.
No, I mean, that's our reputation, and we stress that.
I get so proud when I hear our kids sometimes talking people out of things. It's just like, it makes me really proud because it's exactly that. You can,
hey, you don't need.
You could take advantage of a situation one time and probably sell a guy a whole bunch of stuff and put a bunch of money in the register once, or you could get him exactly what he needs and save him money one time, and you'll have that customer for life. And I'm really, really proud of our crew right now.
And I might say too, Doug, you've proven yourself to bring up kids from the start there. Look at who's sitting right here, Rock Cod Rick. Right? How old were you when you started at Fisherman's Landing Tackle?
15, because I couldn't drive. My parents had to drive me in, and it was my height.
You started here at 14, and they started there at 15, and now you're a co-owner, manager, along with Brandon Bono. How long has Brandon Bono been there?
Well, Brandon's been there, I believe, around 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, and we got ourselves in a little pickle in the summer where I had to let somebody go, and it was super busy. And so we had one past employee that was kind of saying he would be willing to come back, and Brandon so those were the two people. So I vetted, interviewed, and I'm struggling to make this decision. And I kind of just looked down to get my thoughts together, and on Brandon's ankle there was a tattoo of a yellowfin tuna. Okay, you're hired.
Brandon is, I call him the world's greatest fisherman, because he is an amazing fisherman. Yeah, and he fishes all the time, still to this day. And to make both Rick and he partners, what a brilliant move! It's that's kind of the Bill Poole move, right? And the Frank Lopresti
absolutely
move,
that move where deserving people coming up through the ranks, because, Frank is a partner in that tackle store. I'm a partner, and, we're not necessarily going to be around forever. Right. And so they
have a vested interest.
We want the shop to perpetuate into the future. Yeah. And, so these are the guys that are going to make that happen. It's no different than these boats out here. It's Bill Poole and then Pat Kavanaugh and, right on up the line.
Yeah.
And Randy.
You couldn't pick two better guys, too, because they're just, they're amazing humans, and they're incredible tackle people.
Yes.
And what better guys to have you following suit.
Yep.
Right?
Nope. No doubt.
Yeah, pretty fantastic, and that way you know they're going to be there, right?
Well, I don't know about Brandon.
Well, Brandon's
always
got
out
interest,
fishing.
right?
He'll be fishing somewhere.
Yeah.
But he'll come back with good info.
Yeah,
that's
you
for
will.
sure.
Hey, Brian in Carlsbad, and we love talking about kids, like the last one. So love talking about kids and taking kids fishing. Brian in Carlsbad has a great one. He said, I have 3 kids that have kept me off the water for the last 2 years. Fingers crossed, my son just turned 7 and may become my excuse to get out again. All that said, I'm not familiar with the jigging rod reel. What are these, and can you give me a couple of examples of what I should purchase? Most of my reels are Shimano's and Accurates. I'll be listening all morning. Thanks.
Yep. So if you're talking about jigging, a 7-year-old, the way a young person like that needs to learn how to fish is you need to pick days where the weather is gorgeous. You know that there's a high probability that the fish are going to be biting. It doesn't matter what they are, but you want to get bites, and then you help them, but you don't fish necessarily for yourself. Everything is about them and how great it is when they catch a little rockfish, a calico bass, even freshwater fish. People start in, if that's an accessible way for you to go fishing. So I'm not sure that, vertical jigging, if that's what you're talking about, and I think it is necessarily, a method that needs to be employed. You can have any rod and reel and drop down 100 feet and catch a tree fish or a red or whatever. Same with the calico bass. You want to use gear that is not adult gear. You want something lightweight. I used to custom build my kids when they were young, and shorter rear grips, lighter actions that they could catch. We did a lot of bay fishing, and the bay is a great place to take your kids fishing. You can rent boats if you have your own boat, and make sure that you get the best possible information. We can always dial you in on what's going on in the bay, and if they get 7-year-old might get a little bored after a while, don't force them to stay out there. When they're done, go in, stop at Pizza Nova and get a little pepperoni pizza. Make it a fun experience in their early years, and then you can get into more advanced techniques. They can go out and not catch anything for a while, but they know that fishing is fun. But if you take them out, when the weather's not good and you're fishing for yourself, and here, kid, you try to catch one. I see that on the boats all the time. They're going to lose interest. At 7 years old, depending on the individual kid, you can go on the half-day boats. They can throw sardines up to the seagulls. They can get, they're going to just eat burgers and candy and sodas, and just let them just have a great time that way, and then hopefully they'll catch, a calico bass or whatever's biting.
You heard Marcos at Seaforth talking about how good that half day and the twilight fishing was.
Right.
Take them out on a half day, right?
Yeah. I took
then don't worry about that jigging reel until he's just like Rock
turns
on
into
Rick
Brandon.
was at 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Both my daughters went when they were 5 on the Seaforth.
Yeah.
And my grandson started when he was 6 going on the Dolphin. And just make sure that, the weather's going to be good, and really fill them up with all the junk food you can.
Every time Wyatt catches a fish, we make sure it's the biggest deal.
Oh,
in
my
the
God.
world.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
And
It's
he's
double
into
high
it.
five. He loves it. It's his favorite thing in the world. And exactly like Doug said, as soon as we've got a half a dozen spotties and then we caught a couple of croakers, then it's, we run up to Dana and we get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he runs on the grass and we bring the dog. It's just it's his favorite thing in the world.
And he's 3.5, right?
Yeah.
So,
Loves it. Loves
Starts
it.
early.
Loves it. He
Imagine what he's going to be like when he's 7.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
He has to go
Watch
to sleep
out.
with his fish pole sometimes.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so into it.
Watch out.
It's my favorite thing in the world. It's really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, you have a good text.
I thought so, yeah. It says, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Doug. Doug, can you please compare and contrast Max Quattro versus original Power Pro, and then also the Super 8 Slick? Thanks for everything. Cheer. That's from Cheer.
Okay, cheer.
Cheer in Cardiff.
Cardiff, thank you. That's what I was trying to get at.
So all these line companies for decades have used different marketing techniques to sell their line. And they'd always say, our 40-pound test is the thinnest diameter you can buy. But in reality, it was the same as the next company's 30-pound. And then, the next company would say, our 30-pound is the strongest 30-pound you can get. Well, that's because it was fatter. And so when Shimano came out with Max Quattro, it sounded like the same old song. They said, oh, we've got Spectra that, 65 or has the diameter of 50 pound. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go again. It's just 50 pound that they're putting a 65 pound label on. Yes, technically it breaks tensile strength at 65 pounds, but most lines break over test. Well, I did talk to several people at Shimano, and they assured me that they had come up with a method to produce a line that actually was as strong tensile strength and abrasion resistance and all the characteristics. So if you put 80-pound Max Quattro on your 500 Tranks, you get more line because it's thinner diameter. It's basically the diameter of 65, but it actually is 80-pound test in every way. It's got the tensile strength, it's got the abrasion resistance, and so
I love Max Quattro.
That's become a great line.
Stuff.
It actually casts really nice, which a lot of the Spectras don't. And then they hit the home run in this fishery. Shimano's pretty innovative. And they recognize that this deep fishing that we're doing, we used to just put, take a Sharpie out and every 100 feet make a black mark. It was a pain in the neck and take forever, and we'd have to charge the customers too much for our time. And so they came out with the metered line that has 5 colors, and each color is 100 feet in length. So when you're dropping down your tungsten jig or your SK jig or whatever you're fishing, you know exactly how deep you're going. So the regular Spectras, they're all fine. I mean, obviously Power Pro is a mainstay in the industry, and so their solid Power Pro original line is as good as it ever was, and it's going to be a little cheaper. So if you don't need that thinner diameter for whatever your fishing is, that's a good way to go. We did carry the Super Slick, pretty early on in the game, and it was a pretty good spinning reel line. But it just seems to have lost some of its popularity for our particular type of fishing. So I have a feeling that in other areas it's probably a more popular line. But I would say in Southern California, big game fishing, I would stick with Max Quattro.
Now they have a new one, Max Ocho or something like that, right? That they're coming out with?
And that's the 8 carrier line, and I'm not really familiar with it. So much. Maybe you've got more information than I do.
Yeah, it's coming out, but I don't know. I haven't seen it or heard about it.
Yeah, so. I was at the ICAST show and I went through the whole tour with Matt, our rep, and that wasn't mentioned. So it could be for another fishery.
Okay,
it could be something that's not out yet.
Yeah,
maybe you had a dream and you thought it was reality.
Maybe that could be. Yeah. But hey, if they, hard to believe they can improve on Talica. They did. Hard to improve.
Well, they did.
Hard to believe they can improve on Max Quattro. We'll see.
Yeah, totally.
We'll just see. Hey, who do we have on the hotline? Good morning. Who's on hold there?
Good morning, you guys. You get me here?
Yeah. Is that JJ?
Is this JJ?
Hey guys, it's been a little while.
JJ
Hey, good to hear
what's
from you,
going
bro.
on?
If we hear you yell jig strike, we'll know where you went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I am definitely actively working right now. I got a pair of binoculars against my face right next to the phone. We're chasing bird schools. We're fishing albacore, and it's been pretty good.
How fun.
Already this morning we're having a pretty good day. So
nice.
So,
you off the San Diego coast here catching albacore?
You on the dumping grounds? Are you at the 60? Where are you at?
Outside, we're just outside the 425.
Yeah. Actually, you're where are you actually?
We're fishing off of Central Oregon right now.
That's so cool.
And yeah, it is cool. And there's pretty good sign of fish this year. And we see fish from Northern California all the way to Canada, and anywhere from 20 miles offshore to all the way out to the EEZ. So pretty good sign of albacore around this year.
Sounds like it. Some of the private boat guys are, saying 40 and 50 fish, and one of our guys was in yesterday. His buddy in a week caught 200. He says
that's crazy. Is it
jig? It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing how many you know, how many private boaters and skiffs are up here and go out fishing for albacore? You know, I mean, I think us from Southern California, we always think, oh man, you know, Oregon, Washington, Canada, you know, terrible weather and, you know, deadliest catch stuff. But man, you would be surprised how many trailer boaters come out here and do pretty well on albacore fishing. You know, they don't got to go far.
Is it jig fishing or bait fishing, or how are you guys catching them? It sounds like you guys are off to a heck of a season.
Yeah, we just started bait fishing here on a couple of ago. We had been jig fishing, you know, and seasons always start jig fishing, you know, and the fish are just showing up and they're kind of spread out, and jig fishing is the most effective way to put a day together because you're moving and you're kind of covering ground but later on in the season, usually, you know, all the bait sign starts to ball up and the fish will tend to school up on the bait, and that's when we can get them on the poles and the bait, and that's when we really do well. We put some numbers together. Nice. And we're starting to see that developing right now.
That's cool.
That is so cool. So, JJ, now what do you do with all this albacore you're catching?
Sell it. Pretty basic.
Yeah, well, you know, Pete, we stop when we got limits, you know.
Yeah, I don't think so. But now you've got a new can product. I was trying to lead you into that, right?
I know. Yes, we do, and that's Jessica's baby, and it's Craft Fish Company, and so we're taking a percentage of our albacore, kind of the picking and choosing the premium of every catch, and we're canning it. You know, we take it to a local artisanal cannery here in the Pacific Northwest, and they're canning it for us, and they do an awesome job. And then Jessica takes the cans and Art sees them up, and she's selling them. You know, it's kind of boutiquey, and she's got a website, and she's on Instagram and Facebook, and it's kind of cool. You know, it's local, it's sustainable, it's wild, you know, and we see tinned fish, you know, kind of gaining popularity. So we thought, you know what, man, we are the source of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and we're commercial fishermen, so we catch fish and we sell it, and the people we sell it to just can it and sell it to somebody else. So anyway, we thought it'd be kind of fun to, take those people out of the mix and sell it ourselves and can it ourselves and catch it ourselves, and it's very cool.
It's so cool that you can get a can of premium fish. It was hand selected by you, but it was caught by a friend of ours who we've all been fishing with you, and you know, we know that it's coming from a family and a cool source, and you know the whole thing, and it is just, I mean, I talked about it a couple weeks ago. It is as premium gets. You know, it's not like buying a can of Bumblebee from somewhere. It's like, that's a fish that JJ caught, and they picked the ones that are going to those, you know, Craft Fish Co. cans. And when you open it, I mean, you're opening like a piece of albacore. Like you see the loin that was put into there. It's awesome, and I love the story, and we're really into it, JJ.
That's great, you guys. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for your support. You know, I mean, it's cool. It's great for us and all our friends, and you guys and all of our friends have been telling us for years, hey, you know, put this out there. Let's put this out there. So we're putting it out there on a small scale, and it's, you know, it's boutiquey, and it's not available in stores. You know, it's just from us, and it's got a little personal touch to it. So yeah. So
how do we get it, JJ?
Well, you gotta go on craftfishco.com.
craftfishco.com.
That's correct.
And I did it myself too. It's crazy easy. It's one of those like really good online things. I mean, the second you purchase, you get an email back and you get your tracking info and all these. It's like, it was just whoever. Obviously, it sounds like Jessica. Well, clearly, if it's running smooth, it's got to be her, not Jage. But it was just like every single thing was just perfect, you know. And it showed up the next day, and it was killer. And yeah, I love it, man. I'm really happy, and I hope it becomes a very successful thing for you guys.
Yeah, that's great. You guys, thank you very much.
Hey, I'm just curious. One last thing, JJ. I saw one picture yesterday. Guy showed me a picture about a 30-pound albacore. Is that just a rare fish, or are you getting the chunkers up there?
You know, the fish we're catching are like 14-pound average.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They are. They're perfect size.
Yeah.
But we do see those bigger ones mixed in.
Yeah, I figured that was a one-off.
No. So it's funny, we generally see the bigger fish closer to the beach for some reason. And so the skiff guys will catch more of those big ones than we will. It's almost like they're in the colder water before the warm water transition. When you're coming off the beach, you get those bigger fish. So sometimes when we're fishing in there in close to the beach, like on the first day of a trip or something, we're on our way out, we get those big ones.
I gotcha.
But generally the fish that we're getting offshore are school size. They're like 13 to 16 pounds.
Sweet.
That's rad.
Well, J.J. Garrison calling us live from the Pacific Northwest waters aboard the Pikey.
How about a live albacore
Yeah,
report?
live albacore report. It's been a while since we had one of those.
you had that.
J.J., again, if you want to get some of J.J.'s fish, craftfishco.com. Order it online, and we'll got to do that, J.J., and please check it back in with us, please, again.
Give us another Albie report. That's pretty
I
cool.
will for sure.
All right.
I will for sure. You guys, maybe I'll come visit you on the show in the wintertime when we're home.
I hope so.
Be fun, Jay.
And if you want to meet J.J.'s son, he works in the tackle shop.
Dude,
Yep.
Yeah.
Go see Dylan.
Dylan crushes.
Hey, Dylan's such an awesome guy, and he's so stoked working at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop. And you guys take good care of your people, and I'm so glad that he's become part of your team over there. And thank you, Doug. Thanks, you guys.
He's a good man.
Part of our family, man.
Yeah.
He is fam. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it. Thanks. Keep getting them, okay? Yeah.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out what's going on in the East Cape. We got Chris Morris standing by. We're going to be finding out all kinds of great fishing. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and Facebook and YouTube Live.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. You'll discover California's best-selling truck brand, Ford F-Series, equipped for anything your demanding job needs or the family vacation you're taking. Check out the Bronco family featuring the iconic Ford Bronco or the versatile Ford Bronco Sport. Both have muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, visit your local dealership to find the perfect Ford for you during the Ford Summer Sales Event. The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. Visit your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Hey anglers, AFCO Pro Captain Ben Florentino of Coastal Charters here. As a full-time guide, I'm on the water all year long. It's my livelihood. Having the right clothing is of the utmost importance, staying warm, dry, cool, and comfortable to endure whatever the Pacific wants to throw at me. Thankfully, I'm equipped with AFCO clothing to keep me dialed season after season. Do yourself a favor and check out AFCO's award-winning gear at a dealer near you, or learn more at AFCO.com.
Time to talk about great gear from Shimano. We've got to talk about the new Talica 40 and 50. Unbelievable that they did this, but you had to know they were going to come out with something better, right?
Yep, they've been working that direction. You know, they came out with the 16 and the 12A, which was an upgrade. Then they did the 20 and the 25. It was only a matter of time before they did the 50, but the 40 was the surprise.
Yeah.
And so we got to see that for the first time at ICAST, and we're kind of wondering, you know, is this going to be some super skinny reel? You know, what's it going to look like? Well, they took the 50, widened it out a little bit, and took the 50 and narrowed it out a little bit. Now you got your 50 and your 40.
They just made it perfect.
And it's got so many different uses that you can stand there at the rail and hold it on up to catching small blue marlin and you know, nice game fish like that down at the Cape.
Check it out at your local Shimano dealer, the Talica 40 and 50.
This is Duke Ekstrom from the Royal Star. In 1983, a group of intrepid anglers envisioned crafting the best sunglasses on the water. It's true now as it was then. Costa's performance frames excel in the toughest of elements. These styles are packed with functional features that create a competitive advantage for any adventure on the water. From the lake to offshore, Costa's Performance Collection has a legacy of helping anglers stay on the water longer. Learn more at costadelmar.com.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning with the tackle guru himself, Doug Kern. Lots of fun. And hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's going on in the East Cape. We got the man, Chris, standing by with Smokey's Curing Company in Cantina with our Baja Report. What's up, Chris?
Pedro, Rick, Doug, buenos dias, guys.
Buenos dias. How are you? How's everything down in the East Cape?
Everything's great, man. Just great. We're rolling right along, and hey, great show. Listen to you guys. The tackle knowledge in that room sitting there between Doug, Rick, and of course Pedro is second to none. So interesting.
Thanks, man. I don't know anything. I'm just listening to these guys.
Well, hey, as well as I.
That's cool. So what's going on down there?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It's getting better and better down here. You know, the season's been a little bit slow after, say, mid-June, but we're getting more and more tuna in. For the first part of the week, it was pretty much kind of about like maybe 40, 45 miles out between Frailes to the south and, say, Pescadero to the north. So they're having to work a little extra hard to get them out there. Nothing too big, but, I mean, still getting tuna. And then the last couple days, you know, like 15 miles off. So that's really cool. And, you know, also, for the most part, they're like, you know, maybe like 20 pounds, but there were some bigger ones, maybe 70 for a couple days, like really just right there in the bay off Los Frailes, like a mile offshore, maybe some 70s, kind of close to the park there at Pumo, maybe a little too close for comfort, but they were there right off Frailes. Another good thing is that we started seeing some more Dorado, which better late than never. You know, it's been a really, really slow Dorado year. But we're getting more and more of those, like a lot of them in the, say, 10 to 20 pound range, but quite a few, several in the 45 pound range. So, and they're kind of spread out all over. No real spot, you know, they're you know, Pescadero, you know, Punta Colorado. So anyway, you know, but again, it's a bright spot. We're seeing more and more of those. A lot of sailfish this past week, and of course, still good numbers of blue marlin and as well as striped marlin, but sailfish galore. Man, again, the roosterfish bite, it just continues to impress, right? You know, as I say every week, I sound like a broken record, but right there in the bay between, say, Lighthouse, Punta Arena, and Cabo Pulmo, right there in the little bay there, Las Barracas, and El Rincon, lots of action there. And, yeah, bait-wise, we've got sardinas, we've got the green jacks, which are really good for the, you know, the roosters, and then some ballyhoo and some caballitos. But all in all, man, we're picking up, and it's you know, it's getting better and better. So that's where we're at.
Love it.
Sounds good. How's everything at the smokehouse?
You know, we're rolling right along. Like I said, you know, this is actually the slowest time of year in both the restaurant as well as the smokehouse, only because, you know, the town's kind of thinning out from the locals. People kind of go where they're from and get out of the heat and the hurricane season. And then, you know, as well as the fishermen, they'd rather wait and not be here during hurricane season. But still a good number of boats going out. So we're down to one shift at Smokies. We open at 3 instead of 11. But, you know, from 3 on, we're pretty busy. And, you know, the anglers are coming in from the hotels and everything. So, yeah, this is just normal protocol, nothing new. But from 3 o'clock on, we're busy. And we just introduced a new menu yesterday. So
Sweet.
Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
And Vaquera's getting out. And the best boat in the East Cape, Vaquera, is getting out.
Yeah, Vaquera's fishing today. We got a charter today. Been doing pretty well. I don't know. I think it's one of those charters today. They're out of the they're staying out at the Costa Palmas, and I think they wanted to fish for like a half day and then maybe go out snorkeling out in the, maybe somewhere out there up front of Lake or something. So yeah, it's whatever they want to do, we're going to do it. So yeah, we'll see what the fish report is later from Diego.
That sounds great. Of course, Smokey's Curing Company and Cantina. Chris, great job as always. Appreciate the information, and we'll talk to you next Saturday. How do we get a hold of you if we want to book Vaquera or get more information on fish processing or coming to Smokey's?
Look me up at vaquerasportfishing.com. You can call me at 858-231-1358, or you can get a hold of me at Baja Smoke Dog with 2 G's at gmail.com.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
Take care, guys.
All right.
See you, Chris.
Hey, while we're talking about bringing home fish from the East Cape or whatever, I got a really interesting email during the week, and I think it was Dan. I forget what the listener's name, but thank you very much. Sorry for that. I didn't write down. But he mentioned that his freezer went out, and he lost all his fish. He just had a whole bunch of fresh Fisherman's processing, several $100s worth of processing.
Yeah, his
and
years worth of protein.
Yeah, exactly. And I started thinking, I have a chest freezer that's probably 20 years old in my garage.
You get to Costco.
Still works. Guess what's getting delivered today from Costco? A new chest freezer. After hearing that, I just came back with 90 pounds of Haida Gwaii fish, and I have a whole bunch of other great fish in there, and even some nature-fed beef from Yosef and stuff. I got a new freezer right away because I was thinking it's just a matter of time. If you have a freezer that's 10 years old or better, what happens?
Cheap investment, honestly.
You go into the garage one day, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, totally.
Right? It wasn't that expensive. They deliver it right to your door. They take away the old one.
And the new one's it's just like all those things. The new one's probably going to run so much more efficient. You know what I mean? Like it's cost you less, all that other stuff.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
That's a good call,
that's
dude.
coming today. And thanks for that listener for basically maybe saving my fish. And maybe he said, please share that with your listeners because there's probably a lot of guys like me that have the old freezer in the garage.
On autopilot in your garage.
You don't even think about it, right?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be brutal.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, I had a fun text come through. It says, hey, guys, great show. I'm hoping you could discuss how to target white sea bass, especially on my trip down to Cedros. I'm going next week, and I was wondering if Doug could share some of the things that guys have been catching white sea bass. I heard that they're biting down there.
And where was the location?
He's going to Cedros on Cedros Sport Fishing.
So that is not my sweet spot of expertise, and there's been a lot of good white sea bass, probably one of the best years we've had in a while up here.
Yeah.
So Catalina and Clemente and the typical squid grounds and, in the dark, in the gray, that type of thing. And I've just read the reports about Cedros, but I don't have any specific information about how they're targeting, when they're targeting.
So one of the hottest things that has been the biggest thing for Cedros is something that we just got a whole bunch of, and we have them actually from two different manufacturers of those like double XL flukes, and both Corey from MC and then US Bait Co. We have 7-inch and 8-inch those big flukes, and then that brand new lead head that Leadmaster just came out with. That is the thing. If you're going on one of those Cedros trips, stock up on some of the. We just had a new batch.
How big of a head?
We carry them in 1 ounce, ounce and a half, 2 ounce, and 3 ounce. But the ounce and a half has been kind of the money. Ounce and a half and 2 ounce would be the two size. And it's that squid, gets it style head. It's got an extra heavy duty hook on it because hopefully you're fishing a fish that's upwards of 40 or 50 pounds. But that white fluke, and we just had a big order hit the shop just the last day or two.
Get him at Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Whenever we talk sea bass with Doug, I always think I have this picture of Doug holding a big sea bass. I wonder if that mesquite area ever bit this year, because we used to go down there, down south, down to Baja. Didn't think of anybody going down there. You guys would know better.
A lot of the sea bass this year seems to be island oriented,
right?
And Cedros is another proof of that.
But there's been some coastal fish too.
There have been. It's that was just such an interesting era where we had about 3 or 4 or 5 years of that. And it was the big tankers on the coast.
Yeah.
And
how fun was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And, the islands didn't really have it. And this definitely seems to be more, all the way from the Channel Islands, Catalina, Clemente, Cedros. And I haven't heard that much coastal. I mean, there's some isolated fish there. I know Brandon Hayward, he's been making his living on the sea bass this year. Yeah,
for sure.
That's the way to catch sea bass.
No doubt about it. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky caller or texter is going to win those brand new Costa sunglasses. More Let's Talk Hookup with Doug Kern of Fisherman's Landing Tackle when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, and YouTube Live. One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast Series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG Series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service sport fishing operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the spacious and comfortable 85-foot Liberty. With bunks for your comfort, a huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Fisherman's Landing also boasts the best captains and crews in the business, from seasoned veterans to our young future legends. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about my fishing buddy Dan Hume and his amazing company, Hume Termite. As you know, Southern California is infested with termites. It's a constant battle for anyone who owns a home, and that's where Hume Termite come in. They're strictly termite experts. They start with a thorough inspection to find out why you have termites in the first place, then recommend sustainable treatment options that work. Hume Termite has been controlling my termites for years, and I have recommended them to numerous friends. Did you know 99% of termite companies are commission-based? Not Hume Termite. They're all salaried employees, and with a thorough inspection, they'll help you solve your termite problems, not sell you something you don't need. Let Dan and his crew earn your business through customer service and trust. It's swarming season, and now is the time to call Hume Termite at 760-598-2201. They'll come out and give you honest answers to solve your termite issues. Check HumeTermite.com.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time this morning.
Wyatt and Waylon are in the studio here.
Yeah, if you're on the webcam, the boys came in to say hi, and hey, it's time to find out who's got themselves a brand new pair of Costas. Doug's going to do us the honor, flip the prize coin, see if we have a caller or texter win it. Today we have a texter.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Brian in Carlsbad. You have yourself those brand new Reefton Pro gray frame silver mirror glasses. You are so stoked. Yeah, they're great glasses.
Stoked. Yeah, and Doug Kern, always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for all you do at Fisherman's Landing. And what's next? How do we come into Fisherman's Landing? Where are you?
The best way, just come on down, stop in the shops, check out the boats, get something to eat along the dock at one of the great restaurants. You can always call us at 619-221-8506. We're redoing our website, so if you go to saltwatertackle.com, you're going to get a coming soon, and it actually is coming soon. It's not going to sit there for 5 years. And we look forward to seeing everybody down. We've got another couple, 3 months of good fishing, so come on down.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for listening. Thanks to Jeff at the Fan. Thanks to Adam for all he does on the Let's Talk Hookup out. Thanks to you out there very much for watching us today and listening today. Carl Schmidt from Fisherman's Landing. We have the insight of what's going on tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m.
Cool. Nice.
Right back here on Facebook and YouTube Live, 97.3 The Fan, and, of course, that Let's Talk Hookup app. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.